Welcome back, everyone. Ready for another deep dive into the clans of the Fairy Friends?
Always ready to explore more of FI3.
Last time, we kind of set the stage, right? Talking about that whole solar system and Lumiin, the land where magic just flows differently.
Yeah, Lumiin's pretty special, with time not exactly following the rules we're used to.
Exactly. It's a whole different reality. And today, we're going to zero in on one particular clan, the Mystic Maidens of Wynwirl.
Oh yeah, Wynwirl. Get ready for shimmering lagoons and rainforest galore. A true aquatic haven.
Okay, so Wynwirl, it's clearly more than just a name. What exactly are we talking about here? What makes it so special?
Imagine a rainforest paradise. Now, picture lagoons that shimmer under not one, but 3 suns.
3 tons, wow.
But it's not just the visuals, right? The energy of water in Wynwirl is incredibly strong. The Mystic Maidens believe that the tides and currents there directly influence something called the ore grid.
The ore grid. Now, that rings a bell. But just to refresh everyone's memory, could you unpack that a bit? What's the big deal with the ore grid?
Think of it like the circulatory system of the entire FA3 solar system, connecting everything through these pathways of energy ley lines. They're called the Mystic Maidens believe that Wynwirl's water, with its powerful ebb and flow, actually affects how energy flows through those ley lines.
So they're not just living in this beautiful watery world, they're like conductors, right? Channeling energy through the entire solar system.
You got it. Their connection to water gives them a unique role in shaping the energy flow of the entire solar system.
And of course, we can't talk about the Mystic Maidens without mentioning their leader, Elowyn Den.
Oh, Elowyn Den. She's a fascinating figure, very mysterious.
Yeah, she's always described as this mysterious, contemplative figure, someone who really gets those cosmic forces we talked about, the ones that govern the flow of energy and time.
Absolutely. She embodies that whole Mystic Maiden philosophy, going with the flow, trusting the natural rhythms of life.
So she's got this innate understanding of how everything's interconnected, right? Like how the smallest ripple can cause a huge shift in the balance of things.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? Like, what if being in tune with nature, with the rhythms of water, could unlock a deeper level of understanding for all of us?
I'm picturing her meditating by the water, just sensing the currents and knowing things, tapping into some kind of deeper knowledge that most of us are completely oblivious to.
It's a powerful image, but it's not all peaceful meditation for the Mystic Maidens. Our sources mention that Wynwirl is prone to some seriously intense tornadoes.
Tornadoes in a rainforest. That sounds scary.
It is, but here's where their deep connection to water comes in. It's not about fighting the storm, but understanding its power, moving with it, and ultimately finding balance within the chaos. It's kind of like riding a wave.
That's a pretty amazing visual. So they're not just passively accepting the storm, they're actively engaging with it, channeling their connection with water to navigate the chaos.
Exactly. They're not just going with the flow, they're becoming the flow, adapting and evolving with those ever-changing currents. And what's fascinating is that this ability to ride the tornadoes might be crucial to protecting not just their clan, but the entire land of Lumiin.
Hold on, they're like Lumiin's first line of defense against these natural disasters. That's a huge responsibility.
It really highlights how important they are in keeping Lumiin in balance. And, this whole thing about water and intuition, it makes you wonder, what if we could tap into nature's rhythms, just like the Mystic Maidens, to handle the storms in our own lives?
It's a thought-provoking question, for sure. I mean, we all face challenges, unexpected twists and turns. But what if, instead of resisting, we could learn to ride those waves, to find balance within the chaos, like they do?
It's a powerful idea, right? The Mystic Maidens offer a unique perspective on facing challenges, one rooted in understanding, adaptation, and a deep connection to the natural world. But before we get too philosophical, remember those ley lines, the ore grid that connects everything in the FA3 solar system? Well, the Mystic Maidens aren't the only ones who have a connection to these energy pathways.
Oh, so who else is in on this energy action? This is getting interesting.
Remember how we talked about ley lines being like the circulatory system of FA3? Well, the Mystic Maidens aren't just influencing the flow of energy, they're also interpreting the information carried within those pathways.
So it's not just raw power, it's about understanding the subtle language of energy, like reading the whispers of the universe.
Exactly. And that's where their connection to water gets even more interesting. Think about it. Water is a conduit, a carrier of information. It shapes landscapes, flows, and adapts to its surroundings. The Mystic Maidens, by tapping into the essence of water, are essentially becoming interpreters of the ore grid. They can sense the subtle shifts and changes in the energy flow.
So they're not just going with the flow, they're understanding it, deciphering the messages hidden within the currents. But what kind of information are they picking up from these ley lines? What secrets are they uncovering?
That's a question for the ages, right? But our sources suggest that this information is crucial to maintaining balance, not just in Wynwirl, but in all of Lumiin. Remember, in Lumiin, magic thrives, time dances to its own rhythm, and the Mystic Maidens, with their connection to water and the ley lines, seem to hold the key to understanding the intricate dance between energy, time, and the very fabric of reality.
Okay, my mind is officially blown. It's like they're guardians of some ancient knowledge, a secret wisdom passed down through generations. And Elowyn Den, with her deep understanding of cosmic forces, she must be the keeper of this knowledge, right? The guide who leads her clan in deciphering these secrets.
It's definitely a possibility. And speaking of Elowyn Den, there's something else we need to think about. Remember how we talked about her being deeply connected to the cosmic forces that govern time and energy? Well, her role might be even more significant than we initially thought.
Okay, you've got me hooked. What else is there to uncover about Elowyn Den and her role in all of this?
Let's just say her connection to the Orgrid, her understanding of the ebb and flow of energy, might hold the key to unlocking some of Lumiin's deepest secrets. Secrets with repercussions for the entire solar system. But to really get a handle on what that means, we need to look at the relationship between Lumiin and its neighboring land, Order.
Orderyn, now that's a stark contrast, right? Lumiin, this magical flowing world, and Orderyn, all about logic and reason. It's like two complete opposites.
Exactly. But even though they're so different, they're undeniably linked. That Orgrid we keep talking about, the network of ley lines connecting everything in FA3, it doesn't discriminate. It flows through Lumiin, but it also reaches Orderyn, weaving a web of energy that binds these seemingly opposite realms.
Wait, so even though Orderyn is all about denying magic and embracing logic and science, it's still connected to this magical energy grid. That's wild.
It suggests that even in a world that prides itself on logic and reason, there's a fundamental connection to the unseen, the unexplainable.
Okay, this is where things get really interesting. Because if the Mystic Maidens can influence the flow of energy through the ore grid, could their actions, their understanding of the Blee lines, have unforeseen consequences in Orderyn, a world seemingly built on reject such forces?
That's a question that will take us deeper into the heart of this whole conflict between Lumiin and Orderyn. But before we go there, we need to talk about another intriguing aspect of the Mystic Maidens' connection to water, the way it shapes their very being, their approach to life.
Okay, let's dive into that. What's so special about their relationship with water? It's got to be more than just living in a watery world, right?
Definitely. Think about water itself. It's fluid, adaptable, always changing, taking the shape of its container. It can be gentle and nurturing, but also incredibly powerful and destructive.
Okay, I'm starting to see the connection. The Mystic Maidens, by living in harmony with the rhythms of water, they embody these qualities, don't they?
Exactly. They get the power of adaptability, of going with the flow. They know that resisting change is pointless. True strength lies in embracing the ebb and flow of life, in finding balance amidst the ever-shifting currents.
And that philosophy, it's not just passive acceptance, right? It's an active engagement with life's challenges, a conscious choice to move with the current, to navigate the storms with grace and resilience.
You nailed it. What's fascinating is that this approach to life, this water-infused wisdom, might actually hold valuable lessons for us as we navigate the complexities of our own world.
I'm all ears. How can the Mystic Maidens' way of life, their connection to water, be a guide for us in a world that's often far from tranquil lagoons and mystical energy flows?
Well, think about it. We often think of strength as rigidity, as standing firm against the tide. But what if true strength lies in flexibility, in adapting to change, in learning to dance with the currents of life?
That's a powerful image. Instead of resisting the ups and downs, what if we could learn to ride those waves, find balance in the chaos, just like the Mystic Maidens do with those tornadoes?
And what about intuition? We often dismiss it as something unreliable, something less valid than logic and reason. But the Mystic Maidens, through their deep connection to water, seem to have mastered the art of listening to their inner voice, of trusting those gut feelings.
And that's a skill we could all benefit from, right? In a world that's constantly bombarding us with information and external noise, learning to tap into our own inner wisdom, to trust our gut feelings, could be invaluable.
Absolutely. The Mystic Maidens invite us to rethink our relationship with intuition, to see it not as a weakness, but as a source of strength, a way to navigate life's complexities with more grace and awareness.
Okay, I'm starting to get the bigger picture here. The Mystic Maidens aren't just a fascinating plan in some fantasy world. They're a reflection of our own potential, a reminder that we too can tap into the power of nature, the wisdom of water, to find balance and strength in our own lives.
You put it perfectly. The Mystic Maidens offer a compelling invitation to explore the depths within ourselves, to connect with the natural world, and to discover the power in embracing life's flow in all its unpredictable beauty. But before we get too carried away by the currents, remember those ley lines we mentioned, the ore grid that connect everything in the FA3 solar system? It turns out the Mystic Maiden's connection to those energy pathways might be even more profound than we initially thought.
Okay, now you've really got my attention. What's so special about their relationship with the ore grid? It's got to be more than just sensing the energy, right?
You're right. It seems they can not only sense the energy flowing through the ley lines, but also influence it to subtly guide the currents of energy throughout the entire solar system.
Whoa, hold up. They can actually control the flow of energy. That's some serious power.
It is, and it raises some big questions. What are the implications of this ability? What kind of responsibility comes with wielding such influence over the very fabric of the solar system?
This is blowing my mind. They're like the conductors of some cosmic orchestra, subtly directing the flow of energy, shaping the symphony of the universe.
It's a beautiful image, but it also highlights the delicate balance the Mystic Maidens must maintain. Even the smallest change can have a ripple effect. With the power to influence the Orgrid comes the responsibility to use it wisely.
Okay, I'm starting to see the stakes here. It's not just about living in harmony with water. It's about understanding the interconnectedness of the entire solar system and using that knowledge to maintain balance, to ensure that the universe's symphony keeps playing in harmony.
Exactly, and that's what makes the Mystic Maidens so captivating. They're not just powerful beings, they're guardians, protectors of the fragile equilibrium that holds the FA3 solar system together. But their role doesn't end there. Remember the connection between Lumiin and Orderyn, those two seemingly opposite worlds linked by the Orgrid? Well, the Mystic Maidens might play a crucial role in bridging the gap between those two realms.
Now that's fascinating. How could a clan that's so deeply connected to magic and intuition influence a world built on logic and reason?
Think about it this way. The Orgrid doesn't play favorites. It flows through both Lumiin and Orderyn, carrying the same energy, the same potential. And the Mystic Maidens, with their ability to sense and influence that energy flow, might hold the key to unlocking a deeper understanding between these two seemingly different worlds.
Okay, I'm starting to see the possibilities here. It's not about converting Orderyn to embrace magic or forcing Lumiin to give up its mystical ways. It's about finding a point of connection, a common ground where logic and intuition can coexist, where science and magic can complement each other.
Exactly. And who better to facilitate that connection than the Mystic Maidens, with their deep understanding of both the seen and unseen worlds?
This is getting me excited. The Mystic Maidens aren't just powerful. They're diplomats, bridge builders, paving the way for understanding between two worlds that seem destined for conflict.
It's an inspiring vision, isn't it? It speaks to the power of connection, the potential for harmony, even in the face of seemingly huge differences. But before we get too carried away by this optimistic outlook, we need to remember the challenges that lie ahead. Remember Panowyn, the dark sorceress who's hell-bent on proving the power of magic, even if it means messing up the balance of Lumiin and Orderyn.
Oh yeah, Panowyn. Her name still sends shivers down my spine. She's a force to be reckoned with, right?
Absolutely, and her actions threaten to unravel the delicate balance that the Mystic Maidens are working so hard to maintain. She's messing with the Orgrid, disrupting the energy flow, and sowing discord between Lumiin and Orderyn.
Okay, the stakes just got higher. The Mystic Maidens aren't just facing natural disasters like tornadoes. They're facing a powerful adversary who's actively trying to disrupt the harmony of their world. This is shaping up to be an epic battle between light and darkness.
It really is. And the Mystic Maidens, with their connection to water, their understanding of the ley lines, and their commitment to balance, are right in the middle of this conflict. But they're not alone in this fight. Remember Queen Fae, the benevolent ruler of Lumiin? She's a symbol of unity, a beacon of hope in these crazy times.
Queen Fae, now there's a leader who inspires confidence. Tell me more about her role in all of this.
Queen Fae embodies the possibility of harmony, of bridging the divides between the clans and finding common ground with Orderyn. She's working tirelessly to unite Lumiin against Panowyn's threats and to forge alliances that can withstand the coming storm.
So she's the glue holding everything together, a beacon of light against the darkness.
You got it. But her job is anything but easy. Panowyn's influence is spreading. Her manipulations are causing rifts between the clans and disrupting the delicate balance of the Orgrid.
It's a race against time, then. Queen Fae needs to unite Lumiin and find a way to counter Panowyn's dark magic before it's too late.
Exactly, and this is where our exploration of the Mystic Maidens takes an unexpected turn. Remember their connection to water and their ability to sense and influence the energy flow of the Orgrid? Well, it turns out those abilities might be the key to unraveling Panowyn's plans and restoring balance to Lumiin and Orderyn.
Okay, now I'm really intrigued. How do the Mystic Maidens fit into this bigger picture? What's their role in this epic battle between light and darkness?
Let's just say their understanding of the worldly lines and their ability to navigate the currents of energy might hold the key to countering Panowyn's dark magic and restoring harmony to the entire FA3 solar system.
Wow, the Mystic Maidens are more than just protectors of their own clan. They're the guardians of balance for the entire solar system. That's a heavy burden.
It is, and it speaks to the interconnectedness of everything, how even the smallest actions can have a huge impact. The Mystic Maidens, with their unique abilities and their connection to the natural world, are in a position to shape the fate of Lumiin and beyond. But before we dive into the details of their mission, we need to understand the deeper implications of their connection to water, the way it shapes how they perceive time and reality.
All right, let's explore that. What's so special about their relationship with water? It's more than just living in a watery world, right?
Right. Remember how we talked about water being fluid, adaptable, always changing? Well, by immersing themselves in this element, the Mystic Maidens have developed a unique understanding of time.
Okay, I'm curious. How does their connection to water affect how they see time? It's got to be different from our linear experience, right?
You're spot on. For the Mystic Maidens, time isn't a straight line, a rigid progression from past to present to future. It's more like the currents of water, constantly flowing, ebbing and flowing, with moments blurring together, past, present, and future coexisting in this fluid dance.
Wow, that's mind-boggling. It's like they can see how the rippers of the past influence the present and how the currents of the present shape the future. It's a totally different way of experiencing reality.
Exactly, and this fluid perception of time gives them a unique advantage in understanding the complex web of events unfolding in Lumiin and beyond. They see patterns that others miss, connections that are hidden from those bound by a linear view of time.
Okay, this is getting really interesting. If the Mystic Maidens can perceive time in this fluid, interconnected way, wouldn't that give them an edge in predicting Panowyn's moves, understanding the consequences of her actions, and ultimately finding a way to counter her dark magic?
That's a brilliant insight. It really highlights the power of embracing different perspectives, of looking beyond our own limited understanding of reality.
This is opening up a whole new world of possibilities. The Mystic Maidens are showing us that there are different ways of seeing, different ways of being. And by embracing those differences, we can unlock a deeper understanding of ourselves and the universe around us.
Beautifully said, and this exploration of different perspectives leads us to a crucial question. How do the Mystic Maidens' unique abilities and worldview translate into action? How do they actually use their connection to water, their understanding of the Lumdy lines, and their fluid perception of time to protect Lumiin and maintain balance in the FA3 solar system?
Now that's the million-dollar question. It's one thing to have amazing abilities, but it's another thing entirely to put them into practice, to face real challenges and make a real difference.
You're absolutely right, and that's exactly what we'll be exploring in the next part of our deep dive into the world of the Mystic Maidens. We'll dig into the specifics of their mission, the strategies they use, and the challenges they face as they navigate the treacherous currents of conflict, striving to restore harmony to their world.
All right, listeners, get ready. In Part 2, we'll uncover the secrets of the Mystic Maiden strategies, how they use their unique abilities to protect Lumiin, and the challenges they face in their battle against Panowyn's dark forces. It's going to be an epic journey, so buckle up and prepare to be amazed.
Welcome back to our deep dive. We left off talking about some pretty incredible abilities, remember?
Right, the Mystic Maidens and those amazing powers all ready to defend Lumiin and the whole FA3 solar system.
And the big question is how they actually use those abilities. We've covered their connection to water, their understanding of lily lines, their whole thing with time. But how does all that translate into action?
Yeah, that's what I'm dying to know. It's got to be more than just cool concepts, right?
Oh, absolutely. Let's start with their connection to water. It's not just about living in a watery world. It's about embodying water's essence, its fluidity, its adaptability, its raw power.
So they're not just going with the flow, they're like becoming the flow itself.
Exactly. And that translates into some incredible abilities. They can actually manipulate water in ways we wouldn't believe, shaping it, directing it, even using it as a weapon.
Whoa, hold on. Like straight up water bending.
You could say that, but it goes beyond just moving water around. They can use it to heal, to cleanse, to purify. They understand water's life-giving energy and can use it to help themselves and others.
So they're healers too. That's amazing. I'm sensing a theme here, power and compassion, all rolled into one.
It really shows the duality of their nature, that balance they embody, but there's even more to it. Remember those ley lines, those energy pathways connecting everything in the FA3 solar system? The Mystic Maidens can not only sense them, they can use water to interact with them directly.
Wait, what? So it's like they're channeling energy through water, like some kind of mystical plumbing.
It's a fascinating idea, right? They can amplify the energy flowing through those ley lines, direct it, even disrupt it if they need to.
And this all ties back into their role as protectors, right? Defending Lumiin from Panowyn's attacks, countering her manipulations of an Orderyn.
Exactly. They can create shields of waters, deflect energy attacks, even turn Panowyn's own magic against her.
This is some next-level stuff, like a cosmic chess match with the Mystic Maidens using water and energy to protect their world.
And it's not just about brute force either. It's about strategy, understanding the flow of energy and time, and using that knowledge to their advantage. which brings us back to their fluid perception of time.
Oh yeah, their whole time-bending thing. They don't see time in a straight line like we do, right? It's more like a flowing river with past, present, and future all jumbled up.
Exactly, and that gives them a huge advantage in battle. They can anticipate attacks, see the consequences of actions before they happen, even manipulate time itself to create opportunities.
Whoa, that's insane. It's like they're playing 4D chess while everyone else is stuck in 3D.
It's pretty mind-blowing, right? But we have to remember, manipulating time is risky. Even a tiny change can have huge ripple effects.
So they need to be super careful, incredibly wise in how they use that power.
Absolutely, and that's where Elowyn Den's leadership is so important. She's not just a powerful mystic maiden, she's a guide, a mentor, someone who understands the delicate balance of time and the responsibility that comes with it.
Okay, so she's like their wise sage, guiding them through these turbulent times.
A great way to put it. She teaches the younger mystic maidens how to use their powers responsibly, how to navigate the complexities of time, how to use their abilities for good.
And she's also a key player in the fight against Panowyn, right? I bet she's got some amazing strategies planned.
She does. Our sources suggest she's been studying Panowyn's movements, analyzing her patterns, coming up with countermeasures to neutralize her dark magic and restore balance to Lumiin.
Okay, spill the beans. What kind of strategies are we talking about here? What's Elowyn Den's secret weapon?
A big part of it seems to be her understanding of ley lines. Remember, Panowyn's been messing with the ore grid, trying to disrupt the flow of energy and cause chaos. But Elowyn Den, with her deep connection to those ley lines, is working to fix those disruptions, restore the natural flow, and neutralize Panowyn's influence.
So it's like a cosmic tug-of-war with Elowyn Den and Panowyn battling for control of the ore grid.
Exactly, but it's more than just brute force. Elowyn Den's a master strategist, remember. She's using her knowledge of ley lines, her understanding of water, and her perception of time to create intricate webs of energy, redirect attacks, even turn Panowyn's magic against her.
Man, Elowyn Den is like a chess grandmaster. This is a battle of wits as much as a battle of magic and power.
You got it, and it's a battle with implications far beyond Lumiin. Remember, the ore grid connects everything in the FA3 solar system. So what happens here could affect all the worlds, all the beings who depend on the balance of energy and time.
Wow, the stakes are incredibly high. It's not just about saving Lumiin anymore. It's about saving the whole solar system from Panowyn's destructive ambitions.
Exactly. That's what makes the Mystic Maidens so crucial. They're not just protecting their own clan, they're guardians of balance for the entire solar system, the ones standing between Panowyn's darkness and the harmony of the cosmos.
And they're not fighting alone, right? Queen Faye is working to unite the clans and forge alliances with Orderyn.
Right, and that's where the Mystic Maidens' diplomatic skills come in. Remember, they're not just warriors and healers, they're bridge builders. They can connect with others on a deep, intuitive level.
They can see past the differences that divide people, right? And find the common ground that unites us all.
Exactly, and that ability to connect is essential in building the alliances Queen Faye needs to counter Panowyn's influence. Because remember, Panowyn thrives on division, on discord. She manipulates people's fears and prejudices, turning them against each other.
Okay, so the Mystic Maidens are fighting Panowyn's magic and her propaganda, trying to stop her from sowing discord and distrust.
Precisely. They're doing it by being the opposite of what Panowyn represents. They promote understanding, compassion, unity. They build bridges between the clans and reach out to Orderyn, trying to find common ground.
It's like a battle for hearts and minds as much as a battle of magic and power. They're fighting for the soul of the FA3 solar system.
It's a battle they're determined to win. But the road ahead is tough. Panowyn is cunning, and she'll do whatever it takes to get what she wants. She's already infiltrated some of the clans, planting seeds of doubt and discord, and she's always looking for weaknesses to exploit.
So the Mystic Maidens are facing threats from all sides. From Panowyn's attacks and from her manipulations within the clans. This is getting intense.
It definitely is. It reminds us that even the most incredible powers aren't enough to guarantee victory. It takes courage, wisdom, and unwavering commitment to overcome darkness like that.
But the Mystic Maidens seem to have all those qualities in spades. They're not just powerful, they're compassionate, wise, and deeply connected to their world. Plus, they have Elowyn Den to guide them, a true leader who understands the stakes of this fight.
Exactly, but even with all those strengths, the battle's going to be fierce. Panowyn is a formidable foe, and her influence is growing. The Mystic Maidens will need every ounce of their skill, their courage, and their allies to win against this darkness.
Okay, I'm completely hooked. What happens next? Do the Mystic Maidens rise to the challenge? What sacrifices do they have to make to protect their world and the balance of the solar system?
Well, those are questions we'll explore in the final part of our deep dive. We'll go right into the heart of the conflict, see their bravery, their compassion, their unwavering commitment to the light. But before we head into that territory, remember, The Mystic Maidens aren't just characters in a fantasy story. They represent a potential we all have within us, the power to connect, to heal, to find balance in the midst of chaos.
You're right, they show us that even in the darkest times, there's always hope, and that by embracing our own inner strength, by connecting with the wisdom of nature, we can overcome any challenge and create a world where light wins.
Beautifully put. So on that note, we'll pause our journey here. When we come back, we'll dive into the final chapter of the Mystic Maidens story. We'll see their bravery, their sacrifices, and their ultimate triumph over the forces of darkness.
All right, we're back, ready to dive into the final chapter of the Mystic Maidens story.
Definitely. We left off with this epic showdown looming, remember? The Mystic Maidens, with Elowyn Den leading the charge, ready to face Panowyn and her dark magic.
Yeah, the tension was thick. It's not just about Lumiin anymore, it's about the whole solar system hanging in the balance. But before we jump into that epic battle, I've been wondering about something. We talk a lot about Elowyn Den's leadership, her strategies, but what about the other Mystic Maidens? What are they doing in all this?
It's a good question, right? Easy to focus on the leader, but a clan's true strength comes from all its members, and the Mystic Maidens are no different. Each one brings her own unique skills and talents to the fight against Panowyn.
So it's not just about following orders blindly. They each have a part to play, contributing to the bigger picture.
Exactly. For instance, some Mystic Maidens are incredibly skilled healers, using their connection to water to heal wounds, restore balance to anyone harmed by Panowyn's magic.
Like the medics on the front lines, keeping everyone in fighting shape.
You got it. But their healing goes beyond just the physical. It's emotional and spiritual, too, helping people process the trauma, find peace and strength within themselves.
So they're not just patching up wounds, they're mending broken spirits. That's powerful stuff.
And then you have Mystic Maidens gifted with foresight. They can see glimpses of the future through their connection to the ley lines.
Whoa, that's amazing. So they're like oracles, giving warnings and guidance based on what they see coming.
Exactly. They help Elowyn Den anticipate Panowyn's moves, plan strategies, prepare for potential threat.
They're like the intelligence agents of the clan, gathering intel, shaping the overall strategy.
And then there are those who are just incredible at manipulating water, shaping it into shields, weapons, even using it for transportation.
The possibilities are endless. So some Mystic Maidens are like the special ops team, going on daring missions, using water to outsmart their opponents.
Exactly. They're the infiltrators, the saboteurs, using their fluidity and adaptability to slip in and out of danger.
Okay, this is blowing my mind. It's like the Mystic Maidens are a whole army, healers, oracles, special forces, and who knows what else.
And every single Mystic Maiden, no matter her talents, is deeply connected to the clan, to Elowyn Den's leadership, and to their mission protecting Lumiin and the balance of the solar system.
So it's a real team effort, a group of powerful women working together to overcome Panowyn's darkness.
You nailed it, and that's what makes them such a force to be reckoned with. They're not just individuals with extraordinary abilities. They're united, bound together by a shared purpose and an unshakable commitment to the light.
Okay, now I'm even more excited to hear about this battle. Knowing it's not just Elowyn Den versus Panowyn, but a whole army of amazing Mystic Maidens, each one bringing her A-game.
It truly is a battle for the ages. And it's fought not just on the physical level, but on the spiritual and energetic levels, too. Panowyn isn't just attacking with brute force. She's manipulating the Orgrid, the very fabric of reality, trying to disrupt the balance of energy and time itself.
Right, it's a multi-dimensional conflict, with battles happening on so many levels.
Exactly. And the Mystic Maidens, with their understanding of ley lines, their connection to water, and their fluid view of time, are uniquely equipped to fight on all those fronts.
So what's it like? What does this battle look like? How do the Mystic Maidens fight back against Panowyn's dark magic?
Picture this. The sky above Lumiin is swirling with energy. Panowyn's unleashed her dark magic bolts of shadow, tendrils of darkness reaching out, trying to consume the land.
That sounds terrifying, like something out of a nightmare.
It is, but amidst all that chaos, the Mystic Maidens stand strong, their connection to water grounding them, their eyes burning with this fierce light.
So they're not backing down, they're facing Panowyn's darkness head-on.
Absolutely. They form a circle, hands outstretched, channeling their energy into this massive vortex of water that rises up to meet Panowyn's attacks.
Wow. It's like they're creating a shield of pure water, protecting Lumiin from harm.
Exactly. But it's not just a passive shield either. They're actively shaping the water, turning it into blades that cut through the darkness, whips that lash out at Panowyn's tendrils, waves that wash away her shadows.
This is incredible. It's like a water symphony. The Mystic Maidens are conducting the currents, shaping them into weapons of light, weaving this tapestry of protection around Lumiin.
And they're not just playing defense, remember? They're using their connection to the ley lines to fight back against Panowyn's manipulation of the Orgrid.
Right. They're not just blocking her attacks, they're going after the source of her power, trying to disrupt her control over the energy flow.
You got it. They use water as a conduit, channeling their energy into the ley lines, creating countercurrents that disrupt Panowyn's spills and bring the energy flow back into balance.
So it's a cosmic tug of war, the Mystic Maidens pushing back against Panowyn's darkness, fighting for control of the ore grid, trying to restore harmony to the whole solar system.
And in the middle of all this chaos, Elowyn Den stands at the center of the Mystic Maidens circle, eyes closed, expression calm, her hands weaving these intricate patterns in the air.
Like the eye of the storm, the calm in the center of all that craziness.
Exactly. She's not just fighting, she's orchestrating, directing the flow of energy, coordinating the Mystic Maiden's movements, using her perception of time to anticipate Panowyn's next move.
She's the strategist, the brains behind the whole operation.
You could say that. It's a strategy that requires not just power, but wisdom, patience, and an unwavering belief in the light. But even with Elowyn Den's leadership and the Mystic Maiden's incredible powers, the battle's far from over. Panowyn is tough. She's not giving up easily.
So the big question, does good triumph over evil? Do the Mystic Maidens save Lumiin? Do they restore balance to the solar system?
Well, the outcome of this epic battle is a story for another deep dive. But one thing's for sure. The Mystic Maidens, with their courage, their compassion, and their unwavering commitment to the light, they represent the hope that even in the darkest times, there's always a force for good, fighting to restore balance and harmony.
That's a powerful message, and one that really sticks with me. The Mystic Maidens remind us that we all have the power to make a difference, to stand up for what we believe in, to create a world where love, compassion, and understanding win in the end.
Beautifully said. And as we wrap up our deep dive into the world of the Mystic Maidens, we want to leave you with this thought. The battle between light and darkness is a constant, both inside us and in the world around us. But by embracing the qualities that the Mystic Maidens embody, their courage, their wisdom, their connection to nature, and their belief in goodness, we can all play a part in the victory of light and create a world where balance and harmony prevail.
Thanks for joining us on this amazing journey into the heart of Lumiin and the world of the Mystic Maidens. Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep believing in the power of the light within each of us.